Guy Fieri now regretting those handshakes with brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate, as he issues a statement claiming he doesn't know or support them.
Few public figures have experienced such a dramatic reversal of fortune as quickly as Andrew Tate. There was a time when he projected an image of absolute invincibility, conducting himself as though he existed beyond the reach of any real consequences. His influence wasn't merely widespread, it was overwhelming. He had carved out a dominant presence across digital platforms to the degree that vast numbers of young men were fundamentally rethinking their ideas around wealth, women, and what it means to be a man, all filtered through his lens. The scale of what he built was staggering, the kind of online footprint that most content creators will spend their entire careers chasing and never come close to, commanding the attention of millions with a single post.
Your ex account to millions of people, you've said this: stop letting women vote, stop giving women position as judges, stop giving women political appointments. As soon as only men run government and law, all the problems disappear. Women now understand that without male protection, they're nothing but...
With massive income flowing in from his audience and multiple business ventures, he built a lifestyle that looked powerful, flashy, and controversial enough to draw attention from authorities in different countries. Tate positioned himself like online royalty, no question about it. Other streamers and creators would go out of their way, sometimes even embarrass themselves, just to be seen around him, just to say they were part of his circle.
Do something for me or not, Aiden?
Okay, but Kyle, can you come with me, bro? You're my best friend. We have to go to chill with
you. I got you. Are there bad bitches there?
I don't know if there are. I don't know if you'll be able to find them or if they'll talk to you. The point is, Aiden said he'd do something for me.
You know who the fuck I am?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
So you're telling me a girl's fucking your bald ass over me?
Is that SpongeBob on your t-shirt?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why am I talking to these children? Okay, you take your inhaler.
At the time, being linked to him actually meant something. It came with status and influence. That's how strong his presence was at his peak. But nothing stays the same forever, and the phase where fans seriously called him Top G without irony started fading quickly. Instead of trying to impress him or stay in his good graces, more viewers began mocking him on a regular basis.
Is it fair to say that the greatest fraud check of all time happened on Saturday when Andrew Tate lost to Chase Damore?
It's an interesting philosophical question, because if you wrap in the persona part of it, then yes, like that's pretty
This might be the quintessential fraud check. If there was any sort of doubt about him winning, he should have never taken this fight. And now he's going online and he's doing the babyface thing of like, you have to live and I'd rather try and fail. No, that's not who you are. Your persona has nothing to do with it.
Now the empire he spent years building is starting to show cracks at the foundation. And the same guy who always acted like he had life completely figured out is now admitting in interviews that things might not be as perfect as he once made them seem.
I think that the things you own you.
Okay.
And perhaps you could have a whole bunch of money. If you want to live a very simple life, then you have more freedom. That's true.
Yeah.
But if you're stupid like me and you have a whole bunch of money and 102 cars and 33 houses and 4 baby mamas and a jet and a yacht, and you start getting all this shit, you turn out that you don't own it, it owns you, because every day you're getting problems dealing with it.
That shift hits harder when you remember the image he pushed for so long. This situation shows a clear downfall, from looking completely unstoppable to moments that expose the gap between talk and reality, from dominating the online space to watching public opinion turn against him piece by piece. And if you're trying to pinpoint where things really started going wrong, it's hard to ignore what happened when he stepped back into the boxing ring. After retiring from kickboxing in 2016 due to a serious eye injury, Tate stayed out for a while before briefly returning in 2020 with a few fights in Romania, then stepping away again. Then, in late 2025, he announced another comeback, this time aiming for the Misfits Boxing Heavyweight Championship. It was framed as a major return, like he was about to remind everyone exactly who he was and what he could still do. But that's not how it played out. He lost by majority decision to Chase Durr in a 6-round fight in Dubai, and it wasn't just a standard loss either. Early in the fight, his conditioning looked off, especially after coming off the stool for the second round. It quickly turned into one of the most uncomfortable performances audiences had seen from him in years. And the impact went beyond just losing a fight, it hit directly at his image. For years, Tate built his identity around being tough, disciplined, and battle-tested. His fighting background wasn't just part of the story, It was the foundation of his entire persona. Even leading into this fight, he treated Chase Dürr like a straightforward opponent, like this was going to be a dominant comeback that would silence critics and put his name back on top. Instead of backing that up, everything flipped fast. Instead of making Chase Dürr eat his words like he promised, Tate ended up on the canvas himself.
Big mouth. You know, he likes to show off, likes to get clicks. It's exactly what I thought he'd be. He's just a product of the new generation. Like I said, I don't think he thinks properly before he talks. I think he will regret saying that. Well, I know he'll regret it. I'll make him regret it. But I think even himself, he'll regret saying that. I just don't think he was thinking it through. I've definitely missed the whole the vibe of the gym, the camaraderie you have with the other people you're training with. I missed the brotherhood. But I knew exactly what I was getting in for. I knew exactly what I was going to be preparing for. I knew exactly what we were going to have to do. I knew how hard it was going to be. I was very excited by it. And we're coming to the end of that now. The training's been done. It's time to...
The moment the result was confirmed, the internet reacted instantly, and not in his favor. People weren't shocked. They piled on. A lot of the reactions focused on the same point. Andrew Tate spent years criticizing men who show compassion, empathy, and basic respect, only to lose to a fighter wearing pink gloves. That contrast hit hard. After the fight, he did come across more humble at first, but even that felt mixed. He kept saying he wasn't making excuses, while at the same time listing multiple reasons for what went wrong.
Yeah, obviously I didn't get the result I wanted, but truthfully the result I wanted was to see if I could still do it. 40 years old, 10 years retired, a little bit of time in a Romanian dungeon. It was always going to be a big ask against someone so much bigger than me, younger than me, more active than me, but I wanted a real challenge. I didn't want to fight a tin can. I didn't want to fight someone older than me or smaller than me. You know, I felt like I won the first 2 rounds, but then because he's 20 kilo heavier, he started leaning on me and sapped some energy. But I didn't quit. Never give up, never retreat, never surrender, fight to the end, go out on your shield. So I have no excuses. Training camp went fantastic. Time is the fire in which we all burn. Unfortunately, a 40-year-old's not a 22-year-old. I gave it my absolute all, and I have nothing but respect for Chase. I have no excuses. I'm not going to say anything bad about him. I'm not going to make up any reasons. He was the man who won. He deserves this.
And viewers picked up on that immediately. His brother, Tristan Tate, tried to smooth things over publicly and take some pressure off. But Andrew didn't let it go. The way he handled the loss, speaking about it openly in front of his audience, didn't help his image. It came across awkward at times, almost uncomfortable to watch.
Me coming into this podcast studio was nerve-wracking. Me getting out of the car and making it into a building with nothing bad happening to me, I feel adrenaline. I lost my fight because I had so much adrenaline. I had like an adrenaline dump after the second round. I said to my coach, I feel weird. I have like some adrenaline dump. I don't know. I wanted to fight too much. It was the weirdest thing in the world. After the second round, I stopped punching. It was like fucking...
And even months later, the explanations kept coming, getting more stretched each time they resurfaced. But losing to Chase Dürr wasn't the full issue. That defeat pushed people to start digging deeper into his overall fighting record, breaking it down in detail. And what they uncovered made things far worse than a single loss ever could. A breakdown by MMA content creator Napoleon highlighted some serious concerns, and the main points alone were damaging. A large portion of the wins he claimed didn't have clear verification they even took place. And among the fights that could be confirmed, many of his opponents had no established record outside of facing him. That raised serious questions.
I don't know, my last fight didn't go the way it was supposed to go. Maybe it's a sign from God to try again. Maybe it's a sign from God to try, or I'm not sure, but it's hard to fight. I state this without her. It's truly hard to fight with those. I got a lot. I've got a lot of money. I've got things going on. I've got an empire to maintain. And I did really train hard for the last one. It did go my way. So I'm trying to work out what that message was. And
on top of that, 3 of his world titles came against fighters with no record beyond those bouts, while another title came from facing someone with a losing record. None of those titles carried real weight in the broader combat sports scene, which made the overall picture look weak. Across his career, he only faced a limited number of opponents with winning records, and even then, he didn't come out on top in all of those matchups. So the one area people assumed was solid. His fighting credibility suddenly didn't look as strong as it once did. That realization connects to a bigger pattern, suggesting parts of his image may have been built up more than people originally thought. Instead of stepping back and letting things settle, he moved straight into another controversy almost immediately. By now, the HH situation had already made noise. It involved Andrew Tate, his brother Tristan Tate, Myron Gaines, and Sneeko, all appearing in a Miami nightclub video while a highly controversial track was playing in the background.
A Miami Beach nightclub catching heat, accused of celebrating hate with a song about Hitler.
Absolute disgust. Disgusted, horrified.
City leaders reacting to videos making the rounds on social media featuring the Kanye West song with the lyrics "Heil Hitler" over and over again. The same men seen in the club, known as controversial influencers, are also in a video from a limo. In that one, they're singing, and one of them is performing a Nazi salute.
To have people in our city celebrating this. Animals.
This is obviously not welcome in Miami Beach. It should not be welcome anywhere in the world.
The fallout came fast and brought serious attention to everyone involved. What could have faded quickly turned into a much bigger flashpoint, with pressure coming from all sides. Andrew responded by claiming the entire situation was orchestrated to bring him down, arguing it only became a major story because he was there, and that without him, nobody would have cared.
You asked for this ridiculous club event. I don't think it's gone viral organically, to be honest with you. I think that if I wasn't there, it wouldn't have gone viral. I think if Myron, Clav, Nick, and the other guy all stood there in the club and played that song, nobody would give it. I would argue they've done it many times before. They play it on their streams all the time. Nobody cares. It only went viral because I was there. And I don't think that's organic. I think that there is an extremely orchestrated campaign designed to make sure that my influence never reaches the level it was previously. I have criminal cases in many countries around the world. To believe that the constant, endless smear of me in the media is somehow organic and not an intelligence campaign is ignorance. And this video was deliberately pushed to damage my ability to defend myself.
But then he did something that caught a lot of longtime followers off guard.
See me at any of this, firstly. But I want to be very careful here because I don't want to deflect too heavily. I don't want to be blaming other people, etc. A whole bunch of songs were played that night, none of which I requested. None. I walk into a nightclub and songs are played. Unfortunately, if anything happens anywhere near me, it gets tied.
Instead of standing firm the way people expected, he switched direction and started pointing fingers at Sneeko, putting the blame squarely on him, even though they were both in the same club at the same time.
Always has some crybaby issue with me. And I could sit here and blame it all on him, but that's truthfully not, I don't know, that just feels wrong to me. But it is kind of ridiculous. It does feel a bit unfair that I'm standing in a nightclub. A song comes on that I did not request. A song comes on that I do not dance to. I do not repeat the lyrics to. I just stand there.
Wow, what a good goy. You don't dance. I'm a good goy. I didn't dance. I just stood there. I wasn't dancing like the rest of those anti-Semites. Look, what do you mean? Well, that's why I thought the song would be fine. I've seen this video. I wouldn't try to backstab you. I wouldn't play a song that would make you upset. Do you think I was setting you up? I don't understand the argument here, genuinely. And I want people to notice, like in 4K, like this is the Matrix.
That move didn't sit well with a lot of viewers. What followed was messy and dragged out, with both sides going back and forth in public.
Particular person in that group who everyone's saying I sold out. His name is Sneaky and he's a piece of... And he deliberately did something to get clicks for his views, and I should have known better. When Clav and Nick said, we want to bring Sneeko, I said 5 times, I don't like him, he's weird. The lesson here is to stick to my morals and avoid pieces.
It quickly turned into a constant exchange of shots, each trying to control the narrative. From Sneeko's perspective, the issue went deeper than just that moment. He pointed to what he saw as a contradiction between how Andrew actually lives and the lifestyle message they had been promoting together. He tied that into his own beliefs too, saying that difference shaped how he viewed the entire situation.
This is in the Quran. It says, never will the Jews and Christians really be accepting of you until you become one of them. The reason that they attack me and the reason that you see these personal attacks and them trying to destroy my life is because when I became Muslim, it defeats all these subculture ideologies, these religions within the manosphere, within the red pill. I never insulted Nick Fuentes. Find me a clip. You can see nonstop. I never have. Because I don't do this with my friends, or so-called. With Andrew Tate. Even then, when we see before the club across, he says, there's no beef, it's a political disagreements. Because when he promotes gambling, I call that out. It's not a personal attack, it's what you're doing. I don't attack people. I attack what they say, I criticize what they do. There can be political disagreements. And my belief is, you can still be friends with people, even if you disagree. I have people around that have a difference of opinion, and I'm okay with that. For other people, it doesn't seem like it's reciprocated because Islam destroys the red pill ideology that you should sleep with 50.
Andrew pushed back hard in multiple podcast appearances, rejecting that framing completely. He described Sneeko as someone chasing attention, claiming he only attaches himself to Andrew's name when he wants views and numbers. That back and forth kept building tension, and viewers were watching closely to see how it would unfold.
A few years ago, there was a streamer, I think everybody knows who I'm talking about, who was obsessed with me. Every single thing I did, he copied verbatim. He tried to be me, literally be me. He was obsessed with me. And I thought he just wanted to be famous, and that turned out to be a homosexual obsession. Since then, he has mentioned me every single day in every single stream he does. Andrew Tate wore a gambling t-shirt. Andrew Tate drove a car. Andrew Tate drunk coffee. Andrew Tate this. Andrew Tate that. He is obsessed with me.
Do you guys ever hear anyone speak this way about any other guy? Like, have you guys ever thought, hey, this guy's definitely coming on to me, or this guy has a homosexual obsession with me? I don't think that's a normal thing for guys to kind of jump to as a conclusion when it comes to other men online. It's also funny that this is a very girly tactic where he's trying to shame Sneeko into not talking about him anymore, and he's trying to shame him into not talking about him by just calling him gay. It's very flimsy, and it's sad.
At his peak, Andrew had the kind of influence where he could direct his audience anywhere, and they'd follow without hesitation. But this time, it didn't play out like that. A noticeable portion of the audience started siding with Sneeko instead, and the general sentiment online was that Andrew came across more fixated on the situation. That shift was hard to ignore. The bigger issue is that stepping back and shifting blame goes against everything his audience expected from him. Instead of pulling support back in, it pushed people away, and for the first time, parts of his own fan base were openly backing the other side. Right in the middle of all that, an old clip resurfaced where Andrew said reading is a complete waste of time, and it spread everywhere fast.
It's a very cheap way to, I guess, entertain. I wouldn't call it entertainment because my brain is far too advanced. I'm too smart to read. I'm not gonna sit there and go, smart people read. No, I need action. I need constant chaos in my life to feel content. I need to be driving a supercar and fucking fighting, fucking a bunch of hoes and champagne and going crazy. I can't just sit there, and the pirate on the boat. Like, it's for people with...
The reaction was brutal. Comment sections filled up quickly, comparing it to a kid trying to explain why homework wasn't done, with jokes about the last time he read a book without pictures. It turned into a wave of mockery that kept building. He claimed he wasn't bothered by any of it, but his response didn't fully match that tone. Instead of brushing it off calmly, he came across more shaken than he let on, like the pressure was starting to show through the cracks. And as all of this kept stacking up, outside factors made things even heavier.
I'm too smart for books. Yeah, I'm too smart for books. So Twitter's upset about that. There's obviously some fucking broke dude who reads books, who's really upset by the fact that I have a $110 million car collection and $400 million of property around the world. I'm one of the most well-known, relevant people. I'm one of the most famous people on the fucking planet. I get asked to do podcasts about every subject, about pussy and bitches, geopolitics, money, you name it. There's not a fucking subject on earth that every single podcaster that these losers watch doesn't beg me, Andrew Tate, please will you come on my show? Please with your opinions. How did I get all these amazing opinions without reading books? Oh, I should have read books and sat at home and been fucking broke. Like all the people on Twitter who think reading's so important. Reading's so important. How come no one knows who the fuck you are? No one knows who the fuck you are. I learned all my lessons through action, through fighting. I win some fights, I lose some fights, but at least I get in there and fight. You're fucking...
Reports suggested that the ongoing conflict in the Middle East was affecting some of his investments and business interests, adding more strain at the worst possible time.
What the f do you even care for? I care because I have properties in Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. I care because I have over $300 million in the region. Do you? No. I care because I actively have a $5 million trading account which is trying to predict the price, long and short, of oil so I can continue to be richer than you. Do you? No. I care because I have vested interest, plus I'm rich, plus I have time. Why the fuck do you care? You have no vested interest in the region. You haven't got a fucking clue what's going on. You lack the ability to critically think about any of it like I just did. So you care because it's
That kind of pressure can create serious problems for a financial empire he spent years showing off. And while money stress can hit anyone, it's harder for people to feel sympathy when you look at how he's reportedly treated some of the people working under him, especially staff at his Dubai penthouse.
Like the Smurfs. They're like, hello, sir. They're like little Smurfs. They're great people. They're great people. Yeah. But anyway, one of them asked to finish early because she wanted to go home to see her son who was visiting from the Philippines for the first time in 2 years. And the other cleaner wasn't cleaning fast enough. So I was in my room and then I heard all this Filipino. I was like, what the fuck? And I came out and the Filipinos were beating the shit. It was like a fucking fist fight between the Smurfs. Pacquiao came out. I was like, Smurfs. Enough. This is a house of love. True or false? True. True story. The Smurfs had a fucking fist fight. So, you know, the slaves sometimes get unruly. That is what it is. But yeah, I got slaves. You whip them? I don't need to. Because they know I will. So I don't need to. You know?
That contrast stands out, and viewers pick up on it fast. For someone who built his image around fighting against unfair systems, he now appears very comfortable benefiting from that same structure when it suits him. That contradiction keeps coming up as more observers take a closer look at everything around him.
Men sleep well at night. This is for girls. Men don't. Every night I have nightmares. Every sleep is interrupted. All of them. I am stressed. I am anxious. I am worried all day, every single fucking day until the day I die.
When you step back and look at the full timeline, it paints a clear picture. The return to the ring, the way he handled the nightclub situation, the ongoing public fallout with Sneeko, it all points in the same direction. These aren't the kind of sharp, calculated moves you'd expect from someone who built his brand on discipline and thinking ahead of everyone else. Instead, his decisions have started to feel rushed, reactive, and at times self-defeating.
Believe that perhaps you're going to gain status. There's something you're looking for because people are self-interested. You're trying to impress me or Elon or...
I always love when these alpha males unnecessarily put themselves in the same conversations of like massively influential people like Elon Musk or some type of like really famous celebrity. It's always really funny to see and displays how moronic they are. I feel like people at this point get the point. Andrew Tate is just self-gobbling himself, that people are willing to get on their knees because they have no self-respect for themselves. I honestly feel like he will only hire someone that he knows he can bully. I'm pretty certain there are no strong-willed people who he has hired because he is fearful of someone who is confident in them.
That constant pressure is starting to show as well. In recent streams and appearances, the strain is harder to hide, and more people are picking up on it. It's not subtle anymore. To be fair, dealing with ongoing public and personal pressure like this would be difficult for anyone. But the reason people aren't quick to show support is straightforward. He's repeatedly said on record that depression isn't real, telling others to push through and toughen up. Now, seeing him appear visibly worn down creates a kind of irony the internet isn't ignoring. As everything continues to build, his overall outlook seems to be shifting in a darker direction. The more pressure that stacks up, the more disconnected his public image starts to feel. After all the money, the fame, and years of telling others how to live, he now comes across very differently in recent interviews. He's even admitted that his position in the culture has changed, saying that newer, more extreme personalities have taken over the space he once dominated. That's a major admission. It signals that the formula that once worked so well isn't landing the same anymore. Now, instead of leading the conversation, he's chasing attention like everyone else, trying to stay relevant in a space he used to control. And based on how he comes across in these interviews, there's a clear sense he's not at peace with where things have ended up, and people are noticing that shift in real time. He's still trying to stir reactions too. During a recent Fresh and Fit appearance, he doubled down on his belief that a woman's main value comes from becoming a mother, even extending that idea to include his own daughters. That statement raised serious eyebrows, because by his own logic, it suggests that if his daughters ever chose not to have children, or couldn't, they wouldn't have meaningful value.
At ballet. I'm going to go and do ballet, and I'm going to take the money, and then if I need clothes, I'm going to buy the clothes. I'm not going to make my own clothes. I'm not going to wire up my own house. I'm not going to build my own lodgings. I'm not going to cut my own grass. I'm going to do the one thing I'm good at and take the money and exchange it for the things I'm not as good at. Right. Because if you decide to make your own clothes and build your own house, you're going to actually be poor. So you win by optimizing your life, and you optimize your life by focusing on the one thing you are best at and taking that and exchanging it for all the things you are not good at. So I would say, and the reason I made that is so you understand this point, optimally, the best thing a woman can do
what she is best at is the only thing that men can't do, which is have children. That is the best way for you to win, because men can do basically everything else. Can do things. Completely right. I agree with you. Bro, I know I have a whole bunch of smart work for me. I have lawyers. I go to judges. I can do a lot of stuff. But what I'm saying is her optimal, what we're best at, and the reason they're best at it is because no one else can do it, is having children. I pray my daughter at the age of 18 meets an older guy, 45, 46, gives her a house, gives her a Bentley, gets her pregnant, and gives me grandchildren. And if she comes to me and goes, Dad, what? My husband cheated on me. I'm gonna say, are you in the big mansion? Are you driving a Bentley? Okay, shut the up. Shut the up. He's taking care of you. If he stops paying your bills, if he stops protecting you, then come to me. But if you are completely protected and provided for, keep giving me grandchildren, because that's the best thing you can do with your life. I'm rich. Your man's rich. You don't need to make money. That's a waste of time. You don't need a Birkin. You don't need a TikTok account. You don't need an Instagram account. Don't sell for pennies. Stop being an and give me grandkids. That's what I truly hope for my own daughter.
That's the kind of take that spreads fast. But when you watch his content now, something feels different. There's a clear sense he's just going through the motions, like he's playing a role he created but doesn't fully believe in now. It comes across like someone stuck performing a character they don't know how to walk away from, even if they wanted to. And while all of that is happening, his legal situation isn't slowing down. If anything, it's becoming more serious over time. There's been ongoing political pressure in the UK calling for Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate to be extradited over serious criminal allegations. After he was seen in Hong Kong, UK politician Chris Philp publicly called for urgent action to bring both brothers back to face legal proceedings. Another UK politician, Max Wilkinson, went even further, strongly criticizing Andrew and demanding immediate government action to stop him from avoiding accountability overseas. Those statements brought even more attention to an already intense situation. Tate's legal team responded by stating that any UK legal proceedings would need to wait until the Romanian cases are fully resolved. That position was accepted by UK authorities, meaning there wasn't an immediate legal gap requiring political intervention at that point. Even so, the pressure hasn't gone away. Then in late March 2026, Hertfordshire Constabulary confirmed they were reopening an investigation into serious allegations linked to claims from 2014 to 2015. They made it clear they are committed to handling cases like this properly and thoroughly, regardless of how much time has passed. That announcement brought the situation straight back into focus. Not long ago, Andrew Tate projected the image of someone who could absorb any controversy and come out untouched, like nothing could stick to him no matter what happened. But now, with pressure building from multiple directions, that image is starting to look far less solid than it once did. Where he stands now tells a very different story. He's gone from being someone people either strongly supported or strongly opposed, to someone much closer to a full-on cultural outcast. The shift is so significant that even being associated with him can create real problems for people around him.
Guy Fieri now regretting those handshakes with brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate, as he issues a statement claiming he doesn't know or support them.
You know there's going to be smack talk now.
Yes. Yeah, plenty of smack talk online after fans got a load of this clip posted by JZO. Guy now using his platform to speak out, telling fans he's, quote, devastated. I was there to see the fights, and when I was walking through the venue, the Tate brothers stood up and said hello, and that's when the exchange happened. I did not know them or about them before that moment. I'll never pretend to be a perfect person, but let me be crystal clear. I do not know the Tate brothers, nor do I support them. And
after a run of losses unlike anything he's faced before, it's becoming clear that the resilience he spent years promoting may not be as strong as it seemed. The same mindset he pushed onto others is now being questioned in real time, and people are watching closely. The online space he once dominated is either moving on or completely reframing how it sees him. Instead of the figure he once represented, more people now view him as a diminished version of that image. And if this trajectory continues, the period when he was the most searched and talked about person online will start to feel like a completely different era. That's it for this one. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. It helps more than most people think. If you're new, consider subscribing. This is the kind of content we cover regularly on Influence Circuit. Let me know your thoughts on the whole Tate situation in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one.